A new Bluebird takes flight. This is not a summer visitor, an exotic bird of passage. This Bluebird is a permanent resident. A British Bluebird, made in Britain by British skill, using many components supplied by British and continental car component manufacturers. Although Bluebird is a car to be used in Britain, it's designed and styled with Europe in mind. Northeast England, an area more renowned for ships and railways than motor cars, and where the first full production Bluebird rolled off the line in July 1986. Bluebird was engineered and is now road tested in Sunderland, Tyne and Wear, the birthplace of Nissan cars made in Britain. It all started with several advantages. First of all, it started from scratch. 2 years earlier, in July 1984, with hooters booming, 4 massive earth movers having cut through the finishing tape, then cut into the ground. The groundbreaking ceremony was the public inauguration of the Nissan site, an event hailed at the time as the North's great breakthrough. Actually, the site was an old airfield. Appropriately, on November the 7th, 1984, a hangar was turned into a Japanese garden for the day. It was an important day, a day of celebration, and for the best possible reason. Work on the plant construction had begun. The Master of Ceremonies was Peter Wickens, the personnel director, the first British person to be employed by Nissan Motor Manufacturing UK Limited.
To welcome all of you here today to the stone laying ceremony for the new Nissan plant.
The guest speaker was the president of the Nissan Motor Company, Mr. Takashi Ishihara. A flick of a switch, and the waterfall ceased its cascade to reveal a legend engraved in stone. After the unveiling, another ceremony, the burial of a time capsule. One day, future generations will discover for themselves the Nissan legend. But before then, there is work to be done, and cars to be produced. The first urgent task was the building of the factory. In the first season, winter, foundations were laid and steelwork erected. By the second season, spring, the roads were black-topped and floor slabs were being laid. Summer was the season for cladding and roofing. The push was on to hand over a weather-tight building for the autumn season and the beginning of the program for installing process equipment for car building. With the return of winter, work was coming to an end. The buildings were ready. Electricity on, water on, and gas available. Then the project entered a new stage with the arrival of key units of line equipment. At the same time, pressed parts were being unpacked and stored, ready for trial production. Engineers from Japan, who had been responsible for the packaging and dispatch of components, were on site in Washington to inspect whether the parts had reached their destination in the same condition as when they left. One more example of attention to fine detail.
We'll trigger up on our computer the irrelevant tariff trade.
Meantime, the production line was being installed at floor level, and a new method of motorized transfer conveyor to carry the car bodies. Another name for the production line is the Liger line. Liger is a word coined from the lion, a symbol of Britain, and the tiger, a symbol of the Orient. Production operations at Washington consist of body construction, painting, and final assembly. In early 1986, when trial production was in progress, The first body shells also enabled trials to be carried out in the paint shop. One of its facilities includes the full dip electrocoat process. It provides the body shell before the color paint processes with anti-corrosion protection. From the paint shop, the painted bodies return for final assembly. It was April 1986 when the first trial car came off the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning. But I think it does represent a marvellous example of British and Japanese cooperation within one company.
Importance had already been placed on building in quality at each stage of the production line. Where did the people fit in?
We consider that there's a very important link between the quality of the people and the quality of the car. You have the machinery that builds the car, but so very much depends upon the ability of the individuals to handle that machinery, on their motivation, on their commitment to the job. And if you don't have that, then no amount of machinery can do a really good job for you in building in quality. It's a people business, and that is why we were so emphatic about recruiting high quality people to build a high quality car. The attitude of people who work for Nissan is as important as their technical capability. Obviously, technical capability is very important as well. So it's a combination of these factors that we're really concerned with. We believe that the Nissan selection procedure was one of the most searching procedures ever devised in British industry.
Okay, Andrew, what I want you to do now is fit this road wheel to this hub, okay? Yeah. What you got to do, pick up the road wheel, put it onto the hub.
The sort of abilities and attributes that we were looking for were very precisely defined. Right, team working, quality consciousness, flexibility, as the three key characteristics that we were looking for in the personal attributes of the people we selected. The end result of our selection procedure was that Nissan has been able to recruit the highest quality workforce of any motor manufacturing company in the UK, or may I say, I believe in Europe as well. They really are a superb bunch of people.
Selection of the right people is one important part of the equation. Another important part of the equation is the installation of the right equipment and facility. Here in Washington, our engineers have installed the best possible equipment in record time. After commissioning of the equipment, my role as production director was to manufacture the vehicles, not just to the right quantities, but to the highest possible quality standards. Of course, there is a link between high quality objectives and good production engineering technology. I am standing on the Liger line, which incorporates robotic welding and the very latest in automated MIG brazing. Our quality levels are ensured by a comprehensive quality assurance program, both on and off the line.